Hi, this is Russ Long from Audio Instruction. I have a few Pro Tools tips that'll speed up your workflow. Many of you may label your tracks one track at a time by double-clicking on the track, putting in the name, hitting OK, going to the next track, double-clicking on it, putting in the name, and so forth. There's a shortcut that will drastically speed up this process. Double-click on the name, enter the name, and instead of hitting OK, hold the Apple key and then hit the right arrow. It will go to the next track. Then do the same thing again, and it will go to the next track again, and so forth. This will drastically speed up your naming process. Setting up your inputs and outputs can sometimes take a while. Going to each track, setting the input. There's a quick way to take care of this. By holding the Shift, Option, and Apple key, you can sequentially number all the selected tracks. If I want to start with input number 1, I select 1, and the tracks are sequentially numbered from 1 to 8. This works for the output as well. Right now, all of my tracks are assigned outputs 1 and 2. It's a stereo mix being summed internally. If I want to use a summing mixer, all I have to do is hit Shift, Option, Apple, and then select output number 1. And it will sequentially select all the outputs 1 through 8. This also works in reverse. If I want to switch from my individual outputs back to a stereo output, I can just hold Option and select output 1 and 2, and then they're all returned to their stereo output state. Watching the meters is important, especially during a tracking session. I find that switching to the big meter view, which is accomplished by holding Control, Option, Apple, and then clicking on any one of the meters, makes this extremely helpful. You can return to the small meter mode by doing the same thing. Control, Option, Apple, and then click on the meter. Using the Apple key and either the open bracket or close bracket key is an easy way to zoom in and out while working in the edit window. Hold the Apple key and click the open bracket key, which is the bracket key on the left, and you zoom out, or click the close bracket, which is the bracket key on the right, to zoom in. If you use a trackball like I do and have an assortment of extra buttons, you can program those to easily zoom in and out as well. Apple H, Heel Region. During your course of editing, you may find you have an audio file that has several pieces of audio removed from it, and you want to restore it to its original condition. This is easily accomplished by selecting the entire time space and then hitting Apple H to return the space to its original condition. Here's a couple of hints that should help you when you're comping a vocal. I have 4 playlists of vocal passes on this first track, and then I have a comp track below it. If I want the first track to provide my first line, I can select the line and hold the Option key and drag down, and it will actually copy the audio region down without destroying the original pass. I can go to the third playlist for the second line and do the same thing. Hold the Option key and drag it down. I'm going to go to the second playlist for the third and fourth lines. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is when I'm copying this down, if there's too much left or right movement, the track can slide out of place. So one thing you can do to keep this from happening is hold the Control button as well as the Option key. If I hold the Control Option key and drag down, regardless of how much I move left and right, the audio piece stays in position. I'm going to go to the fourth playlist for the next line, and for this one, instead of copying it down, I'm going to hit Apple E to separate the region, and then I can drag it straight down. But as you can see, it leaves a gap. That's why I choose to do it the other way. But if you do have a gap and you want to repair it, you can use Apple H to heal the region and restore it to its original condition. Shift Option 3 is the command to consolidate audio. After combining several takes together with crossfades, fade-ins, and fade-outs, you simply have to select all the audio and hit Shift Option 3, and the audio will be consolidated into a unique new track. The important thing is that you check all of your crossfades, fade-ins, and fade-outs before doing this procedure because you can't alter them after the fact. There's a great feature in Pro Tools for automatically setting the tempo. Once you turn the Tempo Ruler Enabler off, you can click on the tempo and then tap the T key to the music. And your tempo will be automatically calculated. If you accidentally slide a region out of place during editing and you want to return it to its original location, you can go to the spot mode, click on the region, select original timestamp, and click OK, and the region is returned to its original position. This only works if Auto Spot Regions is not selected under the Options menu. You may find yourself working in the edit window and your tracks are at all different heights. Some are really small, some are really big, and you just want to see everything so you know exactly what you got. An easy way to get to that point is hold the Control, Option, and Apple key and then press the Up button. Bam, everything comes into view. Another option as far as viewing in the edit window, if you hold the Option key and click on one of the track heights, you can change everything to the selected view. Everything can be mini, everything can be small, everything can be large, everything can be medium, everything can be extreme, and you can easily change the view of all the tracks that way. But to go back where you're viewing everything, hold Control, Option, Apple, and press the Up key.